Tech and clips.
Yeah. All right, guys. So Fujii Kaze dropped this one a couple of hours ago. 5 hours ago. Yes. Song is titled "It's All Right." It's an official music video. I don't know if it's a new single. You know, maybe you guys can let me know down in the comment section. But I'm such a big Fujii Kaze fan. I mean, I definitely had to check this one out. So let's listen to the song, let's watch the video, and I'll share my thoughts about that at the end of the video. I hope that you guys stick with me. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's go.
It's a time pass. Sooner or later, better know that everything is gonna be alright. It's alright. It's alright.
Yeah. Okay. I like this. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. All right, guys. So that was a Fujii Kaze with "It's All Right." I mean, I loved it. I really, enjoyed listening to this song. I mean, as a listener, as a fan, if I mean, you are going into this song expecting, a big, explosive, performance, you will probably miss, what Fujii Kaze, is actually doing here, because I mean, this song lives in restraint and not spectacle. I mean, right from the very first few moments, I mean, the performance felt incredibly intentional. In my opinion, there is a calmness to it, almost like he's not trying to perform at you, but I mean, instead just exists within the song. That alone, I have to say, it's refreshing. A lot of artists would try to build this into some dramatic vocal showcase, but I feel like Fujii Kaze on this song he kept things, grounded and controlled, which makes it hit, in a different, sort of way. Vocally, I have to say this isn't about range or power. It's about tone. It's about sincerity. His voice, sits in that in this, soft, almost conversational space. But there is still, a quiet strength behind it. You can hear the emotion, but it never feels forced or overly polished. To me, it actually feels, very, very human. Like, this man is processing something in real time rather than, delivering a rehearsed moment. What, stood out to me is how well, the minimal production works in his delivery. The instrumentation, I have to say, doesn't, compete. It just supports. That creates a lot of space, and instead of, feeling empty, that space, actually, pulls you in. You end up, focusing more, on the message and the feeling, behind, every single line. The visuals, in the video follow that same philosophy. I have to say nothing felt random. The imagery absolutely leans into symbolism, struggles, stillness, maybe even rebirth. But to me, it's not shoved in your face. It definitely leaves room for interpretation, which I think fits the song perfectly. To me, it's one of those videos where you don't necessarily get everything on the first watch, but you feel something immediately. Now, after watching the video, after listening to the song, if I am being fair, I feel like at this performance, no one connects, with everyone. It's slow, it's subtle, and it asks for patience. If you are, looking for something catchy or instantly gripping, this might feel a bit too understated. But if you are in the right headspace, I feel like that simplicity becomes its biggest strength. So yeah, I really, really love the song. Overall, I feel like this felt less like a performance and more like a moment of reflection. It's calm, it's centered, and it definitely carries a quiet kind of emotional weight that sneaks up on you. Not flashy, not overdone, just honest. And sometimes that's exactly what makes performance stick. I loved it. It's alright, guys. Let me know what you think about this song down in the comment section, and I'll definitely rate this like a hard 9. That's just me. Let me know what you guys once again think about this one. If you enjoyed my reaction, if you enjoyed my review to this song by Fujii Kaze, make sure to smash the like button, make sure to share, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. On to the next one. Peace out.